So, any of you watch The Office?
Used to.
I gotta watch it because it's gonna be off Netflix soon. Okay, so make sure you get on there. But this might have been you at the beginning, and maybe people were excited, saying, "Hey, welcome back. School is back again. I'm excited." But then some of you also still might be in the state of Michael Scott emotion, because we all have Michael Scott emotions at some point in our day. Okay, this Michael Scott. Maybe you're feeling like I am dead inside. No, I don't like this. All this iPad stuff. All this. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm gonna get this policy. I'm gonna get much attention for this, and oh goodness, all this stuff I gotta keep track of. Like I get it. This might be your face at some point yesterday, today, or tomorrow. We will all have that face, okay? Or you'll just say, I'm Beyonce always, Michael Scott. But we've all had Michael Scott emotions. But for you to have a successful school year, you gotta start doing some things for yourself. You gotta start expanding your thoughts a little bit. So you all have a piece of paper with you, or maybe a blank piece of paper in your group. I'd like you to turn it over, and I want you to help solve this problem, okay? I need you to draw an I, and I need you to draw an X. Okay, draw an I and draw an X. Okay?
Adding only one line.
With one line, I need you to take this I and this X and make it into a 6.
Oh, I got it.
You can't know.
Sharpen that.
So with one line, just one line, take that I and X, make it into a 6.
Yeah, I know.
Think about it. How could you do that? How could you do that?
So much smaller.
Do you think you got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on.
You did.
Give us a second. I told him.
It's gotta look good.
Some people think you got it. I know some people have already seen the answer before, but there's actually 3 possibilities. There's actually 3 possibilities. You could have done this, okay? You could have separated it and drawn like a big line on the top half of the I and the X, and then flip it, or flip your paper.
I was thinking
you would have
something like
this.
that,
You
but-
have a V and an I, which is the Roman numerals for 6. So technically you transform that into a 6. Or you could have done this. If you really wanted to be genius, you could have just drawn an S.
Or back
And then you have 6. That's one continuous line. I didn't say you couldn't have curves in it. It didn't say you couldn't manipulate it that way. It didn't say it had to be a Roman numeral. Just said it had to be one straight line. So you could have made a 6 that way. Or if you were like to the point of I don't care at all, this is maybe warping my brain a little too much, you could have just done this and draw a 6 somewhere around that IX if you really just wanted to just make a 6. Because technically that's a 6. I didn't say you had to use the I and the X, but that's what we often do with our minds. We often think, I have to use the I and the X. I can only limit myself to doing so much. And in order for us to be successful, we got to expand our thinking a little bit. We got to expand the opportunities and possibilities we might have for ourselves and figure out the solution. Okay? If we always go with what we think we can do, or this is too hard, I'm going to give up, imagine what we might miss out on. Okay? Imagine what we might miss out on. What color?
Oh, I see blue and black now, but usually it just depends on the lighting you're in.
It does.
If you think the lighting is from like the outside, then it appears like white and gold. But if you think it's like internal light, it appears blue and black.
Right.
And just being in here,
all the time.
Yeah, some people it never
well, that's-
changes.
Yeah, it doesn't always change. It changed for me just now. I almost always see it black and gold.
Some people, depending on the side of the room you're sitting on, you'll see white and gold or blue and
I've never
black.
seen white and gold. I don't know.
I see white and gold right
It's
now.
amazing.
It switches.
It's
back and
amazing. Like you get 2 people in a room and one person sees one and the other person sees the other, and we're like,
Yeah, I don't know what
how in the
you
world do
see
you see
for
that?
gold.
Like, there's no
forth. It's just
physical way.
the lighting effects.
But you're right, the effects, and a lot of times we don't take that into account. So for this year, for you to be successful, take that into account where somebody else might have another viewpoint than you. In order for you to grow and progress and be ultimately successful, you might need to listen to them. It's very easy for us to dismiss, but listen, maybe you understand, maybe you pick up some new perspective that only helps you. So for you to be successful, take that into account. All right, I need you to draw 9 dots that look something like this on your piece of paper. And with these 9 dots, I need you to connect all 9 of them with 4 straight lines, so they have to be straight this time. And when you're drawing those 4 straight lines, you cannot lift your pen or pencil off the paper. It has to be 4 straight lines, and while you're drawing those lines, pen or pencil has to stay on the piece of paper. Okay? All 9 dots have to be connected. All 9 dots. You can go. Let them see if they figure it out, yes.
Oh, they have to be connected to each other? It's gotta be like, alright.
The lines don't have to necessarily be connected, but the lines have to intersect and cross all 9 of those dots. Like there can't be one dot that doesn't have a line going through.
Connect them?
Yep, 9 dots, 4 straight lines. Can't lift your pen or pencil while you're doing it.
Oh, shoot.
Make them all.
And there's one kind of mental block that's going to get most of you when you're starting to do this, when you're trying to
I've
figure it out.
done this before.
It's part of our human condition. 4, not
Stop saying
5.
that word, Joe.
5 would be great. If we could get 5 lines, a lot of things could happen. It'd be a lot easier for sure.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, my brain hurts.
Yeah.
Oh, my brain.
We can't do that, we can only use 4.
Only 4. Only 4. Only 4. 'Cause if it was 5, it would be a lot easier. Because there's more opportunity to solve the problem.
What if we do that?
No, oh, wait, yeah, that worked. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
These are one of the things that like rack your brain. You're like, how is this possible? It is possible. I wouldn't be that mean and have you try to do something that was impossible to do.
Bam, got it.
We got it. Alex. Let me see it. Bam, bam.
Okay, well, my square is kind of goofy looking. It's like, wow.
So there is a solution. There is a solution. If you are still trying to work on it and you don't want to see the solution,
I don't want to see.
turn away, don't look.
I'm not looking.
Okay? But you could have done this. Start at the top, left, go down,
Yeah, well, that's what we did. We did it from a different
cross,
corner.
and
Yeah.
through. The one big mental block that we got to get over, and what hits everybody when you try to do this, is you think for some reason that you have to stay within these 9 dots. Like you have to stay within some border that's not even there. Like there is no border, there's no wall that says you have to stay inside those dots. But our minds automatically force us to do that. We think inside the box. We don't try to expand our thinking, and yet the only way to solve this is going beyond the dots, outside of the box, so to speak. That's the only way you can solve this. Which is tough, because our minds, our human minds want to stay inside those boundaries that we create for ourselves. We created false boundaries by just looking at this 9 dot. And you're going to do that this year. You're going to do that this year. It's going to be very easy to create boundaries in yourself, in whatever class you're taking, whatever social situation you're in. Sometimes the answer, the solution is going outside those boundaries, pushing the edge a little bit. And trying to say, hey, I can't just stick in the box. I got to step outside the comfort zone a little bit. And who knows what success you could have. That's what you do here. Now, if I told you to do it with 3 lines, you could have done it with 3 lines. It would look a little something like this. You'd have to do the 1, 2, 3 zigzags, inverted Z flow. Okay? If you really wanted to go away above and beyond and think really outside the box, or outside the sphere, so to speak, you could have done it with 1 line, and you do it something like this. You'd have to set it up on a sphere, and you just loop around and around and around and around so you hit all 9 dots. That's thinking really outside the box, okay? But again, there's more than one way to do things, and sometimes we limit ourselves. In order for you to be successful this year or this semester, you can't just limit your opportunities and limit your thoughts, okay? All right, what do you hear?
Laurel.
Laurel. Gary,
hear both of them. When you look at them, you hear
Gary,
different.
Gary, Gary, Gary,
Sometimes
Gary,
you change it. If you look at
I don't hear
Gary,
Again, this came up a few years ago, and it was, yeah, big debate. Like, one person would hear Yanni, I don't know how. One person would hear Laurel. Someone was telling me the other day there's something they saw where there was a picture or video of something, and if you look, or video, like something, yeah, and if you like looked at a certain word for so long, like all of a sudden you'd hear that word out of nowhere, and if you focused on another word, you could hear that word in the same audio clip. It's amazing. That's how powerful your brains are. That again, two people can hear maybe two different things from the same audio clip. Maybe again, depending on where they're sitting, where they're close to the speakers at, I don't know. But again, take that into account this year. Sometimes you're going to be forced into a situation where you hear multiple things being put at you, like, hey, do this, don't do that, and you're like, wait, I don't, like, that's contradicting itself. Listen, ask questions to help get you through those times when you're hearing a bunch of things and a bunch of sounds and you aren't sure where to go. That's going to help you be successful this year. If you just go on maybe what you first hear, you could be walking into a dangerous path. Keep that in mind this semester.
My leg.
All right. What do we think? What do we think?
Jumping to conclusions. Wait, don't tell me.
Jumping to conclusions.
Lumping, it's, you see, it's gonna be not jumping to conclusions.
Could be.
You're jumping to the conclusion
Oh,
that
yeah,
it's saying
true.
it.
That's what.
So you think that's probably what most of you are seeing?
don't think-
But then some people are looking at it, this could be an O, maybe this could be Q, I mean,
Yup.
it could be a lot of things. But why did your mind automatically assume that was an O? It's amazing, right? When this is actually what it said. It's not even a word, or it's not even a phrase to begin with.
See, they
It's
should
just
have
a
at
bunch
least
of
made a word.
letters.
Yeah,
It's a bunch
if
of
we were gonna
letters.
word it.
But that's how powerful your brains are. Like your brain is so powerful that it can only see the top half of those letters and automatically put together a full phrase and sentence. That's pretty cool when you think about it, but it also allows us to get in a lot of trouble. Okay, because we jump to conclusions. We see one little thing and then we automatically assume, okay, without digging deeper, without asking the questions, without doing the research and exploring. If you're going to be successful, you can't just jump to conclusions all the time. You got to do your work. You got to work hard, like Caitlin said. Okay, that's going to be key for you. Also, don't do this. Don't take for whatever a teacher says for face value. Like, don't. If I tell you something, don't take it for face value. If you feel like, hey, you know, Mr. H said this, I wonder if that's really true. Go take the time to research it. Listen to a podcast, watch a YouTube video on it. Like, don't just take whatever somebody tells you and just assume that's true. Go dig deeper. Don't jump to conclusions. That's going to help you and make you more successful this year and in the rest of your life. Okay? All right, I need 2 volunteers. Okay, you're going to do the first one. All right, Zach, I need you to spell something for me. So hopefully you're a good speller.
Yeah.
Okay? Number 1, I need you to spell mop.
M-O-P.
Spell hop.
H-O-P.
Spell top.
T-O-P.
What do you do at green light?
You go.
Oh, dude, dang, that got me.
And some of you might have said stop in your head. That's, again, how powerful our brains work. We just go, 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 and before we know it, we crash because we stopped at a green light and bam. That's not good, right? It's terrible. Terrible, but our minds do that to ourselves, and that stops us from being successful in school and life and whatever you want to do. So keep that in mind. All right?
Oh.
Adrian, spell folk for me. Folk, isn't like folk music.
Oh, okay.
What's the white part of an egg?
Okay.
What's the white part of it? What is it?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. What is it? The white part of an egg is the egg. What? The white part of an egg.
Yeah.
The yellow part. Again, you go up to your friend, say, spell folk for me, and then ask them immediately, what's the white part of an egg? I almost guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, they'll say yolk. Because again, it's what we match things up. We assume, we jump to conclusions. We don't think things through all the time because our brain is so powerful that it associates with things. So keep that in mind this semester to help yourself. don't jump to those conclusions. That's gonna help you be more successful in all areas of your life this semester and this year. Need one more volunteer.
There you go, right there. I already know.
Ali,
Yeah, I already know.
Ali.
I already know.
He saw it, he seen
It's not even what you know, it's just what you
it. All right, Lucas. I'm gonna remove this cover right here, and you're gonna see a bunch of words. They're also gonna be in various colors. I need you to tell me the color, not the word. So you might see the word green, but it actually might be in the color pink. You would say pink, not green. Okay, we're gonna try to go through as fast as we can. Everyone needs to be quiet, give them lots of time to focus and concentrate, okay? No one yelling different colors to mess with them, all right?
You say the color. Green, yellow, red, black, green, blue, red, blue, blue, red, blue, red, blue, black, green, yellow, black, green.
Very good. It's tough. It's tough. A lot of people do this with vision tests. There's athletes do this to check on their vision, because immediately you look at a lot of these things and you just see the word, and you're so wanting to say the word and not the color, because that's what you see. Again, look deeper. Be willing to this semester, this year, to look beyond just what you see and go into it and discover and explore and research and gain more knowledge and gain more skill. That's going to ultimately make you more successful, not just what you learn and see in here. Because if all you do is go into a classroom and look what's on the board or look what's in the book, and then you leave and you don't do anything with it, you're not going to succeed. I'm just telling you, you won't. You won't. If all you can do is come to school at 7:55 and leave at 3:15, it's going to be very hard for you to take that next step. So be willing to look beyond what the words you see and look really into it a little bit. Taco Bell lovers? Taco Bell lovers out there?
Oh,
Taco
yeah.
Tuesday? Okay. Taco Bell, they've had a variety of sayings in their time. They had like Little Mas, they had the Little Chihuahua, they had a lot of sayings. They did have one previously that was called Think Outside the Bun. Now, I think it was like a little shot at the McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King to say, hey, people, don't just think about hamburgers all the time. Like, think about eating a taco every once in a while. They were trying to gain business. And so, now there is. Now there is. So they can't really use that. They said think outside the bun to attract people to think beyond just the normal fast food meal and say, hey, you can come to Taco Bell and get good food that's fast and cheap and anytime you want to. We're open 24/7. So this semester, this year, think outside the bun. Don't just think with what's always been. The worst thing you can ever say in life is, this is how I've always done it, this is how I always will do it. That's the worst thing you can tell yourself, because you set yourself up for failure. Because we're always evolving, we're always changing, right? Almost set here. Or you can not just think outside the box, maybe you can think literally outside the box. It's kind of what those problems are trying to get you to do. You can't just think within the parameters of what I gave you, you have to think outside the box. So, like Mark Twain said, your schooling is going to take place outside of school. That's the true school. The school of life is where you really learn. Okay? Brene Brown, if you've ever seen her, she is really awesome. She's great. She talks about vulnerability, and that's what's hard about thinking outside the box and stepping outside our comfort zone, because, let's be honest, it's not easy. Like, we feel vulnerable. We feel like I could, look foolish. I could look bad. I could, embarrass myself in front of others. It's scary. But there's also a courage that comes with it, too. Once you realize, hey, I can do it. I can make it out. Will Smith, same thing. One of the greatest videos I'll ever encourage you to watch is Will Smith and his skydiving video. He talks about that fear of skydiving, and then that moment of pure bliss once you realize you step off the ledge, you're like, wow, what was I so scared of in the first place? Fear holds us back so much. Fear kills more dreams than anything else. Fear kills your success more than anything else, because we let things stop us. And so again, this semester, this year, don't let fear kill those dreams or those goals you have. Okay, you're going to hear about gutsy goals later on today. Don't let your fear kill that. Step outside. It kills the product of your imagination. It really does. If you let fear take over your life, you're going to be paralyzed. And I don't want to see that from you. To be successful, you got to confront fear and say, I got to step outside of it. I got to step outside the box, outside of my comfort zone. Or you be like Adam Grant. He's a psychologist, and he wants you to be an original. Don't be a conformist this semester. Being original. An original is someone who uses their creativity to try to find new ways to do things. That doesn't just go by the way we've always done it. Being original. That's going to help you succeed. But ultimately, too, like Tim Ferriss said, you can't just think outside the box. Because we can all say, I think outside the box, but then you actually have to put action to that thought. Think outside the box, but then take action that's literally outside the box. If all you did on that 9-dot problem was stare at the 9 dots and think about how you would solve it, that's great. But eventually you had to put pen to paper and put some action to it to try to figure it out. Do that this year. Do that. Don't just think outside the box. Make action steps to actually venture outside the box, outside your comfort zone. And it might just be the tiniest step, but that's worth it. That's worth it, rather than just staying inside the box. Because you don't want to live a life of dogma. Steve Jobs said this in one of his last speeches before he passed away. You don't live a life of dogma, which is living the life that other people set up for you. You don't want to do that. You don't want to live a life that says, hey, this is what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it. Don't live life that way. Okay? Colorado University in 2014 did a study with little kids, and they said, hey, let's figure out how to help their executive function, meaning how they make decisions, how they accomplish their goals. And they found out that when they gave them more free time and less structure, that they actually succeeded more, rather than say, here's a bunch of structure, here's a bunch of boundaries for you, now try to succeed. So we often in our life put up a bunch of walls and boundaries, and you hurt your chances of success, you really do. But if you take some of that structure away and you allow yourself to break down those boundaries, and break down those walls, some amazing things can be coming for you. Some amazing things can be coming for you. You just got to be willing to step outside the box and not live a life of dogma, which is somebody else telling you how to live, how you should do things. Eliminate the structure and you might succeed a little bit. You don't want to look like these people right here. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but take a look at this.
Whoa, that's not good.
Oh, I don't need this. I'm already late.
Somebody will come. Anybody out there?
Do you have a phone?
No. Sorry. Somebody! Hello? There are 2 people stuck on an escalator and we need help. Now, would somebody please do something? I don't believe this. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, there's not enough left to do. That's it.
How many times do we actually do that? We laugh at it because it's so true. I mean, I've done it so many times, I look back and I'm foolish. Like, I was just standing on an escalator complaining or begging for help, and all I had to do was walk up the stairs, the escalator. It doesn't mean I can't just walk up the stairs. And we do that to ourselves. And you're going to be, I guarantee you're going to be confronted with this situation in some form this year, this semester. You're going to be living a life where you're like stuck and you feel like, I don't know where to go. But if you just take the steps on your own, you can get yourself out of the situation. If you problem solve, think outside the box and be willing to step outside your comfort zone. So keep that in mind. Because ultimately, it's your time. Your time is seniors. You only get, I know we got a few juniors, but you only get one senior year, guys. You only get one senior year. And not that it's supposed to be the greatest year of your life, because there's more to come. But it's your time to enjoy your senior year. Enjoy this time you have. Enjoy the experiences you get. Enjoy the times to go out and do social things. Enjoy the times to join a club, or enjoy the times where, yeah, lunch sucks, but hey, you know what? In a year, you're not going to be going to a cafeteria maybe anymore. And you're going to look back and be like, I got to miss doing this or doing that. So take advantage of every opportunity you can. It's your time to have a successful year, only if you take steps to step outside the box and problem solve and say, I'm going to step outside my comfort zone a lot, not let fear take over my life.